Some prisons are supposed to be impossible to escape, except 3 inmates did exactly that, and their bodies were never found. The world built prisons to break people forever. Today, 4 of them, where the mind didn't survive even when the body did. 4 stories about the most terrifying prisons in human history. Some of them are still operating right now. 1962, Alcatraz Island in the middle of San Francisco Bay, a prison they called escape-proof. The water around the island is freezing. The currents are some of the most dangerous in America, and the shore is almost 1.5 miles away. 3 inmates, the Anglin brothers and Frank Morris, decided this was exactly where they'd break out from. For months, they dug through their cell walls by hand using ordinary spoons, hiding the work behind fake cardboard vents. Every night, they left dummy heads in their beds made of soap, plaster, and real human hair to fool the guards during checks. On the night of the escape, they climbed out through ventilation shafts onto the roof and paddled to the water on a homemade raft made of raincoats. By morning, guards found empty cells with the dummy heads still lying on the pillows. The FBI searched for the escapees for over a decade, but never found bodies or any proof they survived. Officially, they're still presumed dead in the ocean. Unofficially, some believe they lived out normal lives under different names. North Korea, Camp 14, a place that doesn't appear on a single official map of the country. This isn't a prison in the normal sense. It's a labor camp for entire families, where people are sent for life because of one relative's crime. A boy named Shin Dong-hyuk was born here, the only known person born and raised inside a camp like this who ever managed to escape. From childhood, he was taught that informing on your parents was normal and that food was a privilege, not a right. At 13, he overheard his mother and brother planning an escape and reported it to the guards. He was forced to watch their public execution as a lesson for the other prisoners. Years later, he attempted an escape of his own, crawling through an electrified fence at the cost of severe burns. He became one of the very few people to walk out of a camp like this alive and tell the world about it. Satellite images show the camp is still active today. French Guiana, late 19th century, a penal colony inmates nicknamed Devil's Island. People weren't just sent here to serve time, they were sent here to die slowly from malaria, yellow fever, and exhaustion. One of the island's most famous prisoners was Henri Charrière, who later wrote a best-selling memoir about his experience there. Escape was considered nearly impossible. Jungle, sharks in the water, and guards with no reason to show mercy. Out of thousands of prisoners sent to the island, only a small fraction ever made it back to France. Most simply disappeared into the records as died of disease. The real death toll was never fully known. The colony wasn't shut down until the mid-20th century, after decades of a scandal and reporting on the inhumane conditions. Today, the island is a tourist attraction where people take photos in front of the old death row cells. The jungle has slowly swallowed the buildings, but locals still tell us stories about the screams that can be heard at night. Colorado, USA, ADX. Florence, a prison inmates call the Alcatraz of the Rockies. There are no bars here, no yard to walk with other people, just a concrete cell roughly 7 by 10 feet that you don't leave for months. Inmates spend up to 23 hours a day in complete isolation, without hearing a single human voice in person. The only window is a narrow slit near the ceiling. too high to see anything except a strip of sky. Psychiatrists who've worked with inmates here describe widespread hallucinations and a complete loss of connection with reality. Some prisoners haven't seen a human face in years, except through a surveillance camera. This facility holds some of the most dangerous criminals in the country, but human rights advocates have called the conditions here torture for decades. Officially, it's the most secure prison in America. Unofficially, it's the most psychologically destructive. 4 prisons, 4 stories about how far systems are willing to go to hold on to or break a human being. If this got under your skin, hit like. The next stories get even darker.